Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
My anus is bleeding!
He can't sit down.
They call them dumps, big massive dumps.
Got a flame coming out of his butthole.
Beta male.
Get in a long tube with a bunch of demons.
Don't you ever do that. Don't you ever do that. I tell you don't do it.
Oops.
We're under attack. It is an alien force, not of this world. It's not human intelligence.
Bullshit.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Bullshit.
It's not a salami sandwich.
Disappointed!
Repeat the line.
Disappointed!
How you like that, boy?
No.
Give me a break.
Stop it.
Fired. Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
Just forget about the evidence.
Around the nation, Waldorf Nation. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday. Welcome to the show. We got a good one today. All right, so yeah, we're gonna have some fun. A lot of fun stories for y'all today. Republican fails over and over again. The worst people fighting with each other, and of course, Mike Pillow. Yes. The return of the Pillow Man. Fun story on that one. Then, of course, we have Elon Musk raging versus Mark Zuckerberg, or raging at Mark Zuckerberg. Gee, I wonder why. Again, we have the worst people in the world that are fighting with each other, so that is pretty hilarious. All right, so. Oh, we also have Tommy Tuberville saying some interesting things about white nationalists. Fun. Okay, so with that said, let's dive into it. You know what they say? You know what we say about Republicans fighting each other? Yes, there's Republican on Republican crime. It's the best crime, the greatest crime. Okay. It's gonna be good. All right. So before we get into the stream, very important that you please like and share the stream. Very important that you do so. Again, helps us out greatly. With that said, let's do it. Let's jump right in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mike Pillow is having a bit of a tough time right now, which means it's time for another episode of Pillow Talk.
God gave me this platform. I already know I'm going to win.
China did our vote. Biden and Harris would say, hey, we're here to protect the country, and resign. Mike Lindell's a conspiracy.
But you haven't.
Just forget about the evidence. This was attacked.
So apparently Mike Pillow's having some money problems, which means he's having an auction. So yes, it's being reported that more than 800 items, including equipment from his pillow factory in Minnesota, are up for grabs after his company reported losing more than $100 million in retail sales. Damn, not doing well. All right, so in addition, by the way, to all the wonderful pillow making machinery, you could get your hands on a 2005 Dodge Sprinter van with a cracked windshield, some Apple iMacs, okay, and a stained ottoman. Stained with what? I'm not sure I want to know.
Sexual anarchy?
No, I'm sure none of that. None of that. Okay, but I'm just saying, it could be anything.
They call them dumps, big massive dumps.
Blah. Okay, anyway, so the auction is being held on KBID online auctions, and it's set to close on July 18th, so there is time. There is time. You can go and get yourself a piece of Mike Pillow's pillow memorabilia. Fun. Lindell actually told Minnesota television station WCCO that the auction was a response to a change toward a direct-to-consumer business strategy. You know, because nobody will, like, sell those pillows anymore. Just saying. Lindell added that MyPillow needed to deal with an excess inventory so employees could keep working. Quote, "We have all this retail stuff. The retailers have abandoned us. What are we supposed to do, everybody? Just paperweights there. No, we are auctioning it off," Lindell said on a Facebook stream on Monday. "Before they did this to MyPillow, we were so big. We needed like 4 times the equipment that we had right now to make retail packaging, to make the retail pillows. So my guy said, hey, can we get rid of some of this stuff and sublease part of that building? Which we said, fine." Yes. Fine. Going well. We were big. We were so big until I went off the rails and started, saying insane conspiracy theories that were not true. I mean, that's what he should say if he had any sort of sense of self-awareness, any sort of grasp on reality. Is it, in the same world as you and I and most people, the real world? Yeah. But no, of course, it's never going to do that. In fact, in that same live stream on Monday, I've got a fun clip from it. He's going to blame cancel culture.
But the reason Walmart and all of them are doing this is because of attack bots and trolls online. Hold it, don't move that thing, please. Attack bots and trolls online on social media that goes after them online, and their managers, their upper management made terrible decisions to remove MyPillow. Does anybody know what happened to Bed Bath & Beyond? Have you looked that up, Brandon? Done. They took this down and made a horrible decision that they made. Now, when they did that, everybody, and when they did that, it was a massive cancellation, you read here. Lindell said in a phone interview Monday, "We lost $100 million from attacks by the box stores, the shopping channels, the shopping network, shopping channels. All of them did cancel culture on us."
There were so many, that was an hour-long live stream, and there were so many golden clips that I wanted to pick out. I just wouldn't have time. The whole show would be Mike Lindell ranting at a computer screen. I think he's talking to somebody, but I couldn't really tell. Okay. They did a cancel culture on us. Yeah, so who would have guessed that, Mike Pillow's crusade would end up like this? It would end up with him having to basically do a garage sale or yard sale. Okay. Oh, right. Anybody who's not in the pillow cult, or I should say the Trump cult. But look, here's the thing. Okay. At the end of the day, this is all self-inflicted. Okay. This is what happens when you constantly lie to people and spread insane conspiracy theories. You destroy your own business. You drive it into the ground. It ain't the cancel culture. It's you. You effed up. You just destroyed your business. Well, like part of it at least. Now, according to the report, by the way, Lindell did not immediately respond to a request on whether he intended to sell off other assets. That's interesting. Now, look, here's the thing. Lindell, he's still got some money. Some. Not for much longer, but so far, still got a little bit left. In fact, back in October, he was still using his private jet. Funny enough, though, that private jet might not be functional for too much longer. He previously told Insider that the plane's door had fallen off while he was loading up on it to travel to a conservative event. Oh my God. Your plane's like literally falling apart. You know what? Hey, you kind of need a door. Just saying. It doesn't sound very safe for travel if you don't have a door on your plane. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. Kind of dangerous. Now, of course, there's other things that he is still spending money on, including trying to build out like a literal social media site for like 12 people. That doesn't make any sense, but he's doing it. He's doing it. So now, that said, when he was asked by the Star Tribune if the pending lawsuits have negatively impacted his sales, he replied, "Of course." Well, yeah, I mean, he's being sued by a lot of people. One of the lowest lawsuits, I know, one of the lowest lawsuits is the $5 million that I talked about previously in the show. You know, from the data analyst that took a look at Lindell's junk data that he claims proves that China attacked us, they invaded us. Like, in that live stream, one of the clips that I wasn't able to show you is that he's like, China invaded us. I mean, they attacked our election. I'm like, oh, dear God. Like, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know his own talking points. Like, it's, again, insanity. But, you know, this data analyst proved him wrong, proved that his data was just junk data, didn't prove anything. And so an arbitration court, they said, and these were 3 arbitrators, that said, hey, you owe this guy $5 million. You put up this contest, and he won your contest, and you didn't give him the money. And so, look, you know, he sued, and I mean, pretty obvious, you know, this was your contest. He won your contest. You owe him the money. Give him the money. And he's like, no, never, never. That's the lowest lawsuit. It gets worse from there. Just far worse, far worse. In fact, he, referring to that arbitration panel's order, he said the $5 million is the lowest one, adding, I will be vindicated in every single one. I will be vindicated. He says as he rocks back and forth inside of a box on the street. I will be vindicated. I almost feel bad for him, but there's actually people that deserve sympathy, and I'm going to get to those people. But first, he said that I will spend everything I have and sell everything I have if that's what it takes. Lindell told Insider back in December 2021 when referring to his campaign to overturn the 2020 election results. Again, well, he's almost there. He's now gotten to the I'm selling off parts of my business part, and it'll just get worse from there. He's already lost Walmart, Costco, Bed Bath & Beyond, QVC, JCPenney, Wayfair, and even his bank. Not kidding. Minnesota Bank and Trust called him a reputation risk. For obvious reasons. And yet, again, he is spending all this money on his social media platform, Rank Speech. In fact, that's $1 million a month. I do not know how long he's going to be able to keep that up. Probably not for much longer. Let's be fair. Okay. He's not going to be vindicated. He's going to drive his business into the ground and end up broke. I don't really care about him. Again, I said I almost feel bad for him, but still don't. But I do care about workers. I'm a big workers' rights guy. I'm a big pro-worker, working class people. You think those people that are down on the floor making these pillows, do you think they agree with him? Well, it doesn't matter if they agree with him. They shouldn't lose their jobs over this. I mean, if the company goes under, these people are fucked. Through no fault of their own. They're just showing up and going to work while their boss goes and makes an ass out of himself and loses business. And so I want to point that out because that's the real tragedy here. It's not so much, again, Mike Pillow. I don't really give a damn. Yes, he can go broke. He can lose all his money for all I care. But it is the workers at the end of the day who always end up suffering as a result of this, boss's stupid, dumbass shenanigans. Okay. So there you go. Moving on. Some of the worst people in the world are fighting, and it's awesome. So now, QAnon shaman Jacob Chansley is out of jail, and he is currently feuding with white nationalist Nick Fuentes, and it is both hilarious and awful. Okay, so again, worst people in the world at each other, and Republican and Republican crime. Insurrectionists versus, well, also insurrectionists, but also worse. So now, Angeli Chansley on Monday tweeted that he had been invited to appear at an Arizona College Republicans event. However, he said that he didn't realize that Nick Fuentes had also been invited. So let me stop there. Arizona College Republicans. What kind of group invites a well-known racist, anti-Semitic misogynist to speak, as well as also a January 6th insurrectionist? Well, apparently that group, they think it's okay to be all of those things. But now Chansley, he's like, whoa, I'm not liking this. Ooh. In fact, on Twitter, he said, when I agreed to speak at the AZ College Republicans United event, I was not aware that I'd be sharing the stage with someone who wants a 16-year-old wife. He asked, should I back out or should I do the event and blow this schmuck out of the water and expose a false prophet? All right, so now, going back to his statement, you might be like, wait, 16-year-old, what are you talking about? Well, got a video here of Nicholas Fuentes basically admitting that he's a groomer.
I don't want to turn 30 and find some 20-year-old, 29-year-old woman that I have something in common with, and it's like, hey, properly aged, like wine. Women don't age like wine, they age like milk. They don't age like wine. That's not how their hormones work. That's not how they work. Yeah, I gotta find my 16-year-old wife. Now you can see an alternative vision for how things could be. I want a 16-year-old that's untouched, pristine, untouched, uncorrupted, innocent. That's what we all want.
No, that is indeed not what we all want. Wow. We do not want to marry 16-year-olds. You are a groomer. That is groomer behavior. Understand who these people are, right? This guy wants to target young teen girls because they believe they can manipulate and control them. That's really it. That's what it's about. That's what he wants. And now he's also assigning, by the way, women's only worth to their bodies. And let's be honest, they're weirdly obsessed with their fertility. Okay? Guy's an absolute creep. He's a little nasally pencil, necked creep. Like, just a weirdo. But he's not the only one on the right. Matt Walsh has said things similar. Saying things like, oh, when they're 16, that's when they're most fertile, No, stop talking about teenage girls' fertility, please. Let's not do that, okay? It's gross. The entire right wing is so incredibly effed up. People like this, okay? And it's super ironic for these same people to claim that they're against grooming, when again, Fuentes is openly admitting that he's looking for a teenage girl to groom. That's what this is. So, now, that said, Chansley, he's like, I don't know about that. I really don't want to share a stage with this guy. But then later on, actually earlier today, I see that he agreed to show up. But wait, he says, I'm going to blow this guy out. We'll see it. We'll see it. I want to see that. Let him fight. Let him fight. But here's my controversial take. And this will be controversial over, the idea of like sort of rehabilitation. Okay? And not necessarily to Chansley, but some of this might apply. So just stick with me here, right? So I think a lot of people got sucked into QAnon. I don't think that they're necessarily bad people. I think they're massively misinformed, conspiratorial. They fell down the right-wing rabbit hole, all that stuff, right? So they get all this propaganda. And look, it starts out pretty innocuous, and people have, done this stuff like, oh, I want to protect children. Well, who doesn't want to protect children? Of course, right? But then you start to get into it, and this right-wing propaganda gets more and more extreme. You get sucked further and further down that rabbit hole, and it rots your brain. And so I think this Q Shaman is a great example of what happens when you get right-wing brain rot. As opposed to, of course, Nick Fuentes, who's just a horrible, hateful person all around. Racist, anti-Semitic, misogynistic, you've heard all that stuff. There's no brain rot going there. It's just complete and utter absence of a brain. But, people like Q Shaman, they go down that rabbit hole, they get radicalized, and the next thing you know, you're attacking a federal building. I know, he was defending the muffins, right? Yeah, of course. But look, that it's got nothing to do with protecting children from actual predators, because, if you're protecting children from predators, well, then you'd be, protecting children from people like Matt Walsh. So the actual predators are the right wing. But anyway, now the fact that he's been seeing this and is honestly seemingly disgusted with Nick Fuentes, that's actually kind of a good sign. And it makes me think that, hey, let's not forget that as much as people can fall into that weirdo QAnon rabbit hole, there are signs that people can break out of it. And this could be potentially the first sign. Doesn't mean that they're not going to be like weirdo right wing or not believe in other weirdo conspiracy theories. But I think if you can break away people from like the weirdness of QAnon, so that they're actually not focusing on LGBTQI plus people who they assume falsely that are predators, and actually look at the real predators like Nick Fuentes. Well, I mean, if you can get people to at least focus on the actual people that are preying on children, that's a good thing. I'll take it. And maybe this is a good starting point. We'll have to see. If this actually happens. If they actually do get into some sort of call out, whatever, during this, we'll have to see. But hopefully it happens. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to James Coomer. Second. Republican Congressman James Comer has taken yet another hilarious L in his attempt to get President Biden to prove the existence of the Biden crime family and the Chinese, and that Joe Biden's getting money from China. Apparently, one of his so-called whistleblowers has just been charged with being a Chinese agent. Oops. Let me give you some details here before I get into a hilarious video from Comer. News broke on Monday that think tank head Gal Luft a key witness for Comer's investigations into President Biden, his son Hunter Biden, and others, was indicted for, among other things, acting as an unregistered agent for China. Oops.
Oh no!
Prosecutors allege prosecutors say while Luft was serving as the co-director of a strategic think tank, Analysis of Global Security, he agreed to covertly recruit and pay a former high-ranking government official and advisor to then-President Trump to publicly support policies that would benefit China without registering as an agent of a foreign entity. Luft told the New York Post the high-ranking official is the former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, James Woolsey, who also worked as a consultant for Luft's think tank and was a senior advisor in whose White House? Whose White House? Donald Trump's White House. Not Joe Biden. Donald Trump's White House. Oops. Oh, the L's keep coming. Wow. Prosecutors allege Luft had created written dialogue between Woolsey and an associate at CEFC China Energy, a state-run energy company, which was then published in a Chinese newspaper online. Can't make this up. Can't make it up. This is the guy who was the alleged whistleblower claiming to have all the dirt on Joe Biden. Oh, well, I was there. How were you there? I was literally as an unregistered foreign agent in the Trump administration. Oh crap! Oh, what?
Oh no!
Yes. And by the way, again, they're accusing Joe Biden of getting money from the Chinese government and having, of course, essentially a bribe. Okay, let's call it what they claim it is. That Joe Biden was bribed to change his policy positions to a pro-China stance. But wait, we haven't seen any evidence that Joe Biden has shifted any of his positions on China. Especially because, again, if you bribe someone, you're supposed to get something from it, right? But we haven't seen any change in Biden's China policy, as a result of this alleged bribe. So, again, when you look at their allegations, when you really kind of scrutinize them, there's really nothing there. Nothing there at all. And again, this guy is being charged with trying to influence the Trump administration to be more favorable to China. Every accusation is a confession. Now that you have the context, Comer, before this had come out, Comer had actually lashed out at MSNBC for making fun of him. Now, it wasn't just MSNBC that's made fun of him. I've made fun of him a lot. So, I guess I was being attacked by extension, to be fair, for making fun of him just days before this man, this whistleblower, was charged as essentially being an agent for China. Here's that video.
No, he's very credible, and the people on MSNBC who made fun of me when I said we had an informant that was missing, they should feel like fools right now.
They are fools.
And this is their worst nightmare because, again, this is a credible witness that the FBI flew all the way to Brussels to interview and sent several agents to interview. This is someone that knew about CEFC in detail long before the laptop ever became public. So we feel that this is a very credible witness. We feel that this is someone that we need to talk to in our investigation, someone we will communicate with in our investigation.
Okay. Well, they should feel like fools right now. No, I'm thinking that you probably do. A very credible guy. Very credible, except that he's literally been on the run. Oops. According to Insider, after being arrested in February, while the indictment against him was still sealed from the public, Luft fled once released on bail. He's a bail runner. Like, he's a literal fugitive right now. His whereabouts are currently unknown. That's your whistleblower. That's your whistleblower. Somebody who is literally hiding. Gone. Gone. He's gone. In fact, he told the New York Post, Quote, I'm now being hunted by the very same people who I informed and may have to live on the run for the rest of my life. Can't make this up, man. Now, look, in addition to being an unregistered agent for China, the allegations, the charges, I should say, are pretty serious, okay? In addition to the alleged actions to influence U.S. policy in favor of China, prosecutors argue Luft worked to broker a deal for Chinese companies to sell certain weapons to Libya. So he's an arms dealer, including anti-tank launchers, grenade launchers, and mortar rounds, which Luft and his associates referred to in coded language as quote-unquote toys. Luft also worked to broker deals for certain weapons to be sold to the United Arab Emirates, including aerial bombs and rockets. Luft faces up to 100 years in prison if convicted of the 8 counts against him. Serious charges. Oops. Okay. Now, once again, speaking to the New York Post, he vehemently denied the charges, claiming the investigation is, of course, politically motivated to prevent him from coming forward to share what he claims is proof Hunter Biden, not the president, profiting off his father's name in business deals with Chinese individuals who have ties to military intelligence. But wait a minute. Hunter Biden profiting off his father's names? Well, first of all, Hunter Biden's not even in the government, so that wouldn't be illegal. Is it unethical? Yeah, sure. But guess what? It's happened in the Trump administration. It pretty much happens with every, it can happen with every child of every famous political figure ever. This is not a new thing. Yeah, of course, fail sons can profit off their dad. Yeah, of course, that's not illegal. That's not illegal here, though. Okay? No, the illegal thing would be to take foreign bribes, which, again, there's no evidence of that. And this guy, this supposed whistleblower says, I've got evidence. Disappears. Gone. On the run. Well, why don't you release the evidence? Oh, well, you can't, though. You can't. And you know why you can't? Because it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's a figment of your imagination. It doesn't exist. And something tells me, again, that he's only doing this because he's trying to cover for his own crimes, which are incredibly serious. I mean, if you actually care, then you could turn yourself in and give the evidence that way. Oh, but again, the evidence would actually have to be real for that to happen. We know what this guy's about. We know that it's completely and utterly full of crap. What about Ivanka overcharging the government for everything? What about Ivanka, going and making deals, secret deals with, well, not secret, but deals with the Chinese as well, getting these patents that nobody else qualified for. There's so much corruption in the Trump administration as well that I find it laughable that they're trying to say the same things about the Biden administration, which are not true. I guess he begs for a Trump pardon in 2024. That's probably it too, unfortunately. So yeah, you're probably correct. All right. Moving on. Kind of getting through these stories pretty quick. Oh boy. Senator Tommy Tuberville thinks that white nationalists aren't inherently racist. Now, appearing on the debut of CNN's The Source on Monday, Tuberville was asked by host Qanon about some of his past remarks regarding white nationalism and whether or not white nationalists should be allowed to join and be part of the military. Here's that video, and there's a pretty good back and forth between them. Let's take a look.
Do you believe they should allow white nationalists in the military?
Well, they call them that. I call them Americans.
Do you want to explain those comments, Senator?
Yeah, first of all, I'm totally against any type of racism, okay? I was a football coach for 40 years, and I dealt and had opportunity to be around more minorities than anybody up here on this hill. White nationalist is just another word that they want to use other than racism. I'm totally against anything to do with racism.
But just to be clear, you agree that white nationalists should not be serving in the U.S. military. Is that what you're saying?
If people think that a white nationalist is a racist, I agree with that. I agree they should.
A white nationalist is someone who believes that the white race is superior to other races.
Well, that's some people's opinion. And I don't think,
That's
I mean,
not
a lot.
opinion.
Pardon?
What's your opinion?
My opinion of a white nationalist, if somebody wants to call him white nationalist, to me is an American. It's an American. Now,
wow. Oh, that's like your opinion, man. No, that's literally not. I mean, white nationalists, by definition, are racist. That's kind of their whole thing. Okay? Yes, they believe that white people should maintain majority in majority white countries, as well as maintain political, economic, and cultural dominance because they believe, and why is that? Because they believe that other cultures and other races are inherently inferior and that they are superior. That is, again, literal freaking racism. It's right there. Any definition that you read. White nationalists are racist. Okay, and now again, other things that they believe in is the fact that they think that white people are a race. Just a generic. All white people, all part of the same race. But of course, the different nationalities, different cultures, et cetera, right? That's stupid. Race is a social construct. And really, that social construct was meant to divide human beings based on superficial characteristics such as skin color. Okay? When you start believing in things like, white people are a race, and then you start to get into things like race realism, measuring skulls, skull shapes and to denote intelligence. And that is complete and utter bunk, pseudoscience. It's nothing realistic. These people are just absolutely ridiculous. But again, this is not an opinion, right? These people are racist, and that's a fact. That's their entire thing. So now the question is, why is Tommy Tuberville, why is he bending over backwards to, avoid calling white nationalists racist? Now, look, I think it's pretty obvious. But there's more video where he's going to get pressed on it even more by Caitlin Collins. Take a look.
if that white nationalist is a racist, I'm totally against anything that they want to do, because I am 110% against racism. But I want somebody that's in our military, that's strong, that believes in this country, that's an American, that will fight along anybody, whether it's a man or woman, black or white, red, it doesn't make any difference. And so I'm totally against identity politics. I think it's ruining this country, and I think that Democrats ought to be ashamed for how they're doing this, because it's dividing this country and it's making this country weaker every day.
But that's not identity politics. You said a white nationalist is an American.
It is identity politics.
You said a white nationalist is an American, but a white nationalist is someone who believes horrific things. Do you really think that's someone who should be serving in the military?
Well, that's just a name that has been given. I mean,
it's not.
Listen,
It's a real definition. There's real concerns
about
about
extremism. So if you're going to do away with most white people in this country out of the military, we got huge problems.
It's not.
Huge problems.
It's not people who are white. It's white nationalists
that have a few probably different beliefs.
Right?
That have different beliefs. Now, if racism is one of those beliefs, I'm totally against it. I am totally against racism.
But
there's a lot of people that believe in different things.
Is racist, Senator?
Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. But if it's racism, I'm totally against it.
If it's racism, I'm totally against it. So are you against white nationalists? No, not really. I mean, the Democrats, yes, that's it. It's the Democrats. Yes. With the Democrats, what? Identity politics. That's what it is. No, but okay. By the way, white nationalism is the literal definition of identity politics. That's what that is. Again, your white nationalists focus on their racial identity as a reason that they should be elevated in society and control all the political stuff. That is the that is the identity politics right there. You're doing the identity politics, and you're trying to claim, oh no, well, I mean, I'll be against white nationalists if they're racist. Well, they're all racist. That's literally what white nationalism is. But he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. And there's a reason that he doesn't get it, because he agrees. He agrees. Now, the problem here, the big problem here is we're discussing white nationalists should be in the military. No, they should not. They should not. But you have Tommy Tuberville saying, well, you know, I mean, you know, unless they're racist, I mean, openly racist. Well, again, they are, and you're okay with them by, extension, being armed and trained. Now, white nationalists, white supremacists, and anti-government groups have been behind the vast majority of terrorist attacks domestically in this country in the last decade. Tommy Tuberville is basically supporting arming and training of possible future domestic terrorists. That's a real problem here, okay? And again, why is he doing that? It's because he agrees with them. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see. That was painful. It was. Oh, incredibly painful. It hurts my brain. It hurts my brain. Okay.
Woke mob.
Last story here. Let's make fun of Elon Musk. And Mark Zuckerberg. Because why not? Elon Musk is super bitter after Mark Zuckerberg's threads immediately attracted tens of millions of signups within days. I think they're at somewhere around 100 million users now. And the meltdown is absolutely hilarious. So the story is pretty ridiculous in a lot of different ways because, for one, how did this start? Other than, of course, Zuckerberg's threads actually getting a ton of signups. And again, I've got issues with that, but with the company Meta, so don't think that I'm on the side of Meta or Elon Musk. But anyway, or even the people who started this, because a literal brand account, the shit posters over at Wendy's, yes, Wendy's, posted this. Hey, Zuck, you should go to space to really make him mad. LOL. Now, that exchange was noted by a Twitter user who accused Zuckerberg of protecting brand speech, which is not exactly off the mark here, where Musk protects free speech, which is definitely off the mark, because no, he actually doesn't protect free speech at all. Now, Musk noticed this and responded by saying, quote unquote, Zuck is a cuck. I don't know, man. I really think Zuckerberg's kicking your ass right now. Let's be honest about that. So now look, again, not a fan of Meta. An awful company. Zuckerberg's made a lot of his own F-ups. But at the same time, Twitter now is such a dumpster fire that people are willingly going to a Meta product. That, by the way, is basically all brands. And so when it comes to brand safety and elevating brands, yeah, that's kind of what Threads is about. And let's be real honest with that. Okay. Now, that said, Meta, and by the way, some of the issues in Meta, right? Meta has lit billions of dollars on fire in order to make the metaverse that nobody wants. Nobody was interested in the metaverse. Nobody cared. And Zuckerberg, I think he lost what, $13.7 billion trying to make that happen. Okay. That said, Zuckerberg did not lose as much as Elon Musk did when he bought Twitter for $44 billion. Not even near worth that. Okay. And then, by the way, drove it into the ground. Scared away all the higher tier advertisers. That's why you see like all the crypto bros and the scam bots and all that stuff. Those are the people that are, and the gold ads. Just all the, buy gold, buy silver, all that stuff. That's what you see on Twitter now, because all the higher tier advertisers left. They lost a ton of their advertising revenue. And look, Twitter was not doing well before when it came to revenue. It's doing far worse now. And while Meta, of course, wasted a boatload of money, at least they had the money to waste. Whereas Twitter it doesn't have the money to pay the bills. So, in fact, there were 6 lawsuits from companies who say that Twitter had not been paying them. Now, one of them is Facilitate Corporation, an Australian company, and it sued Twitter in San Francisco federal court on June 29th after the company allegedly never paid for approximately $665,000, or $1 million in Australian, worth of work on infrastructure for Twitter's offices in Australia, London, Dublin, and Singapore. Facilitate's litigation is the latest in a string of lawsuits filed over Twitter's failure to pay for its offices, with other lawsuits being brought in recent months over Twitter not paying rent in offices in Oakland, Boston, Seattle, and London, along with 2 separate lawsuits over its San Francisco properties. Oops. At least some of those lawsuits have been resolved, to be fair. The Oakland lawsuit was dropped back in June, and Britain's Crown Estate withdrew its lawsuit after Twitter paid rent on its London office, a spokesperson confirmed to Bloomberg. But that still means that there's a lot of lawsuits out there that have not been settled, and a lot of vendors that have not been paid. That included Google, for cloud hosting. Oops. So now, Dr. Ruman Chowdhury, a data scientist who used to work for Twitter until November, told BBC during a recent interview that Twitter has imposed rate limits on users due to lack of payment for their bills. So, a little bit of context on that. So Twitter put out the statement, we're going to rate limit you on how many tweets you can view. Now, the whole point there is to tweet and read tweets. If you have a limit on doing both of those, like a hard cap on how many you can tweet and view, what do you think that's going to do to your website? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Well, they said, it's because of they're doing data scraping and all this stuff, and we don't like it. No, it's because you didn't pay your bills. At least that's what Chowdhury says. She says, frankly, I think I'm in a majority of people who believe that it's due to his lack of payment out of his bills, and he's attempting to reduce his cost. It is a very extreme and unprecedented tactic, which is already failing. So, look, no wonder Elon Musk seems like he's a little bitter. He's losing money. He's losing, and yet he is posting through it all. And look, as people leave, by the way, and people have migrated from that site to now all the different competitors. There's Mastodon, there's Blue Sky, there's Threads, obviously. There's all sorts of different social media competitors now. And Threads actually made it super easy. If you had an Instagram, you just one click and it's like whatever. That's it's gonna have an impact. And so when people migrate over, well, there's gonna be less of an incentive Now, remember to post there, okay? Now, and remember, one of their big business model ideas from big brain Elon Musk was to, well, let's charge for the blue check. Well, what value do you get from the blue check? I mean, you're elevated in the algorithm, right? Okay, fair. So you're elevating the algorithm, but if you don't have an audience, then that's pretty much worthless. So the whole point, again, of tweeting, and especially it's been really, really important for news and journalists, etc., because of that audience, because it's a way to get out, that information, that news. And by the way, Meta Threads also, they really don't like news either. And let's be honest, most social media actually hates news and politics. They try to, hide it or downrank it or not, promote it or anything like that because of how volatile the news is, etc. But, on Twitter was really, really big for journalists because you could share this information. You could go viral. You could have these videos and news events and get a lot of traction. Now it's only, and blue checks used to help with that. But now, with any dumbass that can go and buy a blue check, it's not really, it's not really worth anything now. It has no value. And so you have an audience that's leaving, that's going to further devalue that blue check. And so, and not only that, but the gold check as well for brands, which, Elon Musk charges $1,000 a month. No, that's why all these brands are going over to Threads and stirring up shit. They don't want to pay that $1,000. So that's going to mean a lot of money lost to Elon Musk. He ain't going to get that money. It's gone. And look, as of earlier this year, about 300,000 people had paid for Twitter blue checks. Obliterate itself. That's what it's doing. And again, the number is probably dropped because, once again, there's no value in Twitter. So I'm pretty certain Elon Musk, who knows the details, he's got all of the information. He can easily get that information. He's mad. Definitely mad. And so at this moment, it ain't Zuckerberg who's being cucked. No. It's Elon. Okay. Anyway. So that's actually all I got today. So kind of a quick news day today. And just having a lot of fun here. So let's go to, well, we don't have any super chats or anything like that, or member comments, which is very interesting. So I guess I'll have to, end the stream a little early. I haven't tweeted in years. True. Yeah, I'm still on Twitter. I'm pretty much all on the social media sites, but I don't really post very often anymore because there's really no point. There's just no point. So, oh well. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, thank you to everybody. Please like and share the stream if you haven't already. Over on Twitch here, thank you, by the way, people on Twitch, for watching. We're gonna raid. Can we take time to praise the shit posters at Wendy's? They are the unmatched gods of the internet. I mean, yeah, they're pretty good. That social media team is pretty fantastic. I wonder if that's the Gravel teams. They were also pretty good shit posters. So yeah, they're good at what they do, even if they are representing a brand account that really should pay its workers better. Okay. Anyway. Let's raid into Franafio. Everybody, let them know. Let her know that we sent you. Thank you all. Love you, and remember, change begins with you. Good night, nation. See you back here tomorrow.
I will eat your ass.
Oh no!
Just forget about the evidence. Whoopsie.
Get in a long tube with a bunch of bees.
We're under attack. It's the devil, okay?
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I'm not working on McDonald's money. How you like that, boy?
You're kicking me out the door. You're kicking me out the door.
Whoopsie.